Well, let's get started. I went on a little camping trip a while back now, I guess. It's a place in West Georgia, just east of Eufaula, Alabama, near a little town called Lumpkin. It's called Providence Canyon State Park. I took my sweet puppy and we spent a couple of days camping. Using Google Earth again to show you kind of where it's at in relation to the rest of the U.S. and to give you an idea of the park itself. You can see the fingers of the canyon running all along. And right now I'm just kind of moving my mouse along what I think is the 7-mile trail, but now that I'm doing it, I'm not 100% sure. But a lot of this video is going to be footage from the 7-mile hike that me and the puppy took. It's a very, very beautiful place. Very remote. It's a great place to get away, enjoy some time to yourself. If you enjoy places with almost zero cell phone service, this is also for you. We had a relaxing time and look forward to going back. After our first night, we made a little fire, had some breakfast, and just relaxed for a moment before we got ready for our hike. I think fires are my favorite thing when I go camping. They're just so peaceful, helping to warm you up. So just take a moment, relax by the fire before we start out on our hike. I had to slow the videos down a little bit just because with the fun puppy running around like crazy, it wasn't necessarily as relaxing as I was wanting the video to be. So just enjoy her whenever she pops on and off the screen, wherever she comes from. The trail was 7 miles long, and it is a loop trail. But with as much of her running back and forth, I'm pretty sure she ran at least double that. And she had a great time, and she's always fun to watch. Providence Canyon itself was not a naturally forming canyon. It actually was formed due to bad farming practices in the 19th century. Just from the plowing and the disruption of the land, just erosion took place and made, albeit a very beautiful place, a very beautiful canyon. But unfortunately, given the nature of the soil, it is still eroding. From what I've read, we're still losing, I think, 3 to 5 feet of canyon wall every year. So I'm not sure what that's going to look like. As you saw in the beginning, it's already fairly close to the highway. So we'll see how things go and how it progresses. But it has several trails. Lots of different things that you can do. The campsites that I've always stayed in are primitive campsites, no electricity, no running water. They do have an outhouse. Not as fun as it sounds. There was a bit of wind on this day. I did my best to edit out the worst of the sounds. But it was just a very pretty day. A little bit overcast. That's my comeback whistle. Peep the little Superman leaps there. That's my doggy. So this part is one of my more favorite spots in the entire hike. Coming up on a little bridge here. And I'm not sure what it is about bridges, but I always enjoy them. This one is very simple, made out of wood, over a little creek. But it's always one of, if not my favorite part of the hike. Little birdhouse. Lots of little things like that along the trail. And as you'll see here on the information placard, this bridge was built by an Eagle Scout as part of their Eagle Scout project. I'm not going to read the whole thing. We'll glance at it and then continue on our way. But obviously it's got some age on it. And as we move on, I always like to take a moment and listen to the creek. I suppose this is where a poet would call it a babbling brook or something like that. I call it a creek. So try to enjoy it for just a moment with me. And do your best to block out all the puppy noises. And just watch as it slowly flows. And you will notice the Georgia red clay, which is prevalent in this area. Let's play a game. Find the puppy. Where is she? Is she there? Or is she over here? Oh, I think I see her. She doesn't like sitting still for little games, but she was polite enough to hang out for a minute for us. After we played hide and seek, we made our way up one of the larger inclines of the hike. Certainly nothing strenuous, but it does get us up on more of the ridge, and then we'll make our way around to the actual canyon itself. She deals with me. She deals with me annoying her. She was trying to enjoy the view, and here I messed it up. I think I missed most of the leaf change and leaves falling, probably by a week or two. There's still some very good ones up and around. But truthfully, this is my favorite time of year. It's cold, a little bit muted colors. It just makes me feel at peace. As you can see by the sign, it's another Eagle Scout project. This is one of the backcountry campsites that you have to hike into. But there's no one around today. I've never personally hiked in to one of the backcountry spots, but I had a friend that did it once, and he seemed to have just as much fun as I do on my campsite. So I at least have my truck nearby. Many people marking their time here, letting everyone else know that they had a good time. Maybe that's a Ninja Turtle there. Now we're getting more into the actual canyon part. You can start to see where the soil is eroded. And I think way back over there, you can see the old primitive church above the tree line. We'll be over there in a little while. Still have a long way to go yet. but it is just a very, very pretty place. Usually at this point of the hike, we stop and have a little bit of lunch, but today someone forgot to pack it. Now this was always a very interesting spot for me. The sign says it's an old homestead. It was located in this area before the establishment of Providence Canyon. These automobiles were abandoned near the homestead and have since become a unique ecosystem for numerous birds and mammal species who use them for nesting and cover. Due to their location and to the encroachment of nature, the removal of the vehicles would cause too much damage to the environment and the ecosystem in this area. So they left the cars. Makes for an interesting little stopping point. And for me, this is about halfway through our walk. It's a very fun and interesting little thing to see. As you can see, the puppy is still quite intrigued and having just the best time. And now we're getting into the more recognizable portions of the canyon. The next couple of shots will be of the canyon itself. I don't know how deep the canyons are. I was thinking that they were probably 100, 200 feet deep. I did go down into the canyons, but as you can see, there were people down there, and it got a little bit hairy, a little bit awkward to try to video. I didn't want anybody to give me a hard time, so I just enjoyed the scenery from down below. You should visit it yourself one day. Get the full experience. There is a creek that runs from the canyon and on down back past our campsite. But I just love all of the different colors of orange and white and gray. It's just a very unique and interesting spot. Just another view. They have plenty of lookout points from the edge of the canyon. As you go up to the visitor center, make sure to stop and look at all of them. Make for great pictures, especially at different times of the year. Different seasons create different pictures. And then back over here is the primitive church that I mentioned earlier. We finally made it to it. Now I'm going to leave you be, let you enjoy the sounds of little soft sand creek walking. Enjoy the puppy. Thanks for hanging out with me at Providence Canyon.